Hi, everybody. Don't mind me, I have a cat in my arms. Uh, she's been meowing the whole time, and I don't know why, because she literally has food, she still has water. I guess she just wanted attention, so now I'm just holding her. Aw, I miss you too, Frater. Life is still difficult right now, but every day is a little bit better. And especially when I have you by my side, kitty cat. Mwah. Especially when I got you. Oh. How is everyone doing today? It's been really nice weather here, so I am just basking in the sun and enjoying a lot of ice cream, because heck yeah. And now I am ready to play game. Just gonna things will get better. Yeah. It just takes time. Okay, and then boom. Oh, I did not open that yet. Now we have it open. And then the game should appear in a second. Yes, there we go. All right. Boom. Oh yeah, we're here. Um oh yeah, this is awkward. All right. Talk about the trade. Before we discuss the trade, would you take the time to listen to my story? Very well, I'm listening. Okay. This Judy mentioned. Was it to break what remains of the curse of the raging waves? I suppose they were connected, but... Oh yeah, I'm finishing my soup, so... Lifting the curse would have been a step along the road, but it wasn't the goal. Oh really? Then what was it? Well... It was to return the mermaid that was left behind in Isebe to Ryugu. That was the real duty of the Taishima bloodline. Okay, return the mermaid that was left behind. Would that be Sa? No, it's not Sato. Am I playing as the mermaid, maybe? Return a mermaid. So it's true. There really was a mermaid stuck in Issa Bay because she couldn't return to Ryugu. That's right. Her name was Sobai. Oh. She's come up in our research, so she was real after all. You see. My sister that took on the family duty. It seems like she actually met Sobai herself. She got to meet the mermaid? After leaving my hometown and making a living as an Ama diver. Mao! I had all but forgotten about the duty I'd left behind. Mao, Yes. I had no idea what our duty actually entailed. When I finally learned the truth, I was crushed by regret. Mao. Regret? Why? You know, ever since I was a little girl, I had always been fascinated by mermaids. Understandable. I read The Little Mermaid so many times. The pages of the book had started to wear away. I would see them in my dreams over and over. Back then, I wanted nothing more than to become a mermaid. It's what led me to become an almond diver in the first place. But the true nature of the family duty is only revealed to the one who inherits it. I see. What bitter irony. But couldn't you meet the mermaid after you learned the truth? My sister took pity on me and attempted to call her to meet me once in secret. My sister Mare even shared some of the things the mermaid had told her. Animal Crossing villager noise. But you know, Sobaya was a cautious mermaid who never truly opened her heart to anyone but my sister. Me, on the other hand, she avoided. I was never even allowed as much as a glimpse. Quite the bitter outcome. Mari and the mermaid had grown close as friends. They trusted each other. They were inseparable. But she never once showed herself to anyone other than my sister, not even to a close relative like myself. So she hid herself away for 400 years? Was such caution really necessary? Your sister must have been an incredible person to earn the mermaid's trust. Not me bumping against my desk. Though I can only imagine how hard it must have been to be rejected by an existence you so deeply admired and longed to meet. Mari moved to Kamishima to be closer to Ryugu, all for the mermaid's sake. Then one day, she got married and changed her name to Mari Minakuchi. She seemed so happy. So she got married on Kamishima. I was so jealous. I couldn't think straight and ended up lashing out pretty badly. In an attempt to destroy my sister's relationship with the mermaid, I grabbed our family heirloom and ran off. Ah, the infamous Tama tobacco, yeah? Yeah. The mermaid was supposed to take it back to Ryugu, so our family had carefully kept it for centuries. And so the years went by. Then 5 years ago, I heard that Mare had died in an accident. That's why I came back to Toba. I thought that maybe this meant the duty would be passed on to me. Of course. But by then, our parents and all our relatives had already passed away. There was no one left who knew about our duty. There was nothing I could do. I didn't know a thing, not where the mermaid was, nor how to call her. I had given up. But while I was digging around, that man Ikuma found out I was a descendant of Taishima. You see, I was struggling to get by. I had sold the information my sister had told me about the mermaid. Back then, I was making a living by giving folks a glimpse of the Tama tobacco for a ridiculous price. And that brings us to the present, I suppose. Whoa, there it is. So it's true. There really is a mermaid here in Issa Bay. If that mermaid really still exists, then we might be able to make contact. Yes, there must be a way. Okay. Mao. In other words, since your sister died in that accident, your family's duty was never fulfilled. And now you want us to go find the mermaid for you? That ain't it. Dang. I guess it must have been about 3 months ago. I was wandering the coast alone when the mermaid Sobai appeared before me. Oh, you finally got to meet her. She told me this. The seal on Ryugu's gateway has been lifted, so I will be returning. Your sister has done a great deal for me. I now ask you to return the Tamatebako. Wait, what? The seal was lifted? Oh, is that perhaps why the curse of the raging waves became active again? So what about the Tamatebako? Did you return it to the mermaid? I was so overcome with emotion and excitement, I told her. I've hidden the relic. If you want it back, take me to Ryugu. You said what? Not being able to fulfill my duty had been weighing heavy on my heart. But in that moment, that pain was gone. On top of that, I figured the mermaid had come to fetch me. Being able to visit the land of the mermaids, there would be no greater happiness than that. But Sobai simply told me it was impossible and that she'd forfeit the relic, and with that she was gone. Oh. So the mermaid has already returned to Ryugu then. Ever since then, all I felt is despair and regret. I'm completely empty inside. There's nothing left. Kitty, what are you playing with? My family's duty has been fulfilled. That's what I meant when I said it was all over. But then, the Tamatebako still exists, doesn't it? Sure does, but even with such a fancy name, in the end it's just a grimy old box. I opened it once. I was hoping there would be some sort of elixir of eternal youth inside or something, but it was completely empty. I see. Even so, I'd still like to trade for it. Are you sure? I don't see why, but whatever. It's not like anything matters anymore. I'm just sick and tired of it all. Oh. In the end, I never did figure out what that Tamatebako really was. The mermaid forfeited it just like that, so maybe it never had any meaning to begin with. So, what do you want in return? I want to do whatever it takes to become a mermaid. Oh, that's why we found her. Like half fish-like. She literally wants us to use the curse on her. Aww. That's kind of sad. Miss Somakawa, don't tell me. You want me to use the curse stone? Simply returning to the sea. That's my only wish. No, listen. There is nothing even remotely beautiful about the curse of the Forsaken Fish. All it will do is turn you into some twisted half-fish monster. Nothing but a grotesque imitation of a mermaid. I know. That's fine with me. This curse is the essence of that mermaid's power. I am ready to offer up my life to her. But whatever you do, I'll just be drowning myself anyway. So you won't be dirtying your hands. All you have to do is use the curse. My wish will be granted. And you would be doing me a kindness. That's all there is to it. Just hold on a minute, okay? This is just... The tama tobacco is hidden beneath the floorboards of my house. Please, do this for me. Miss Somakawa, wait! Oh, she's already gone. Will she come back up if I just wait long enough? I'm not gonna... I don't want to use it. She's nowhere to be seen. Of course, she's an armor diver after all. Is it too late to call for help? Would she even accept it? Damn, I guess we can't do anything but use it. Damn it, what now? What do I do? Should I grant her last wish? It's surely no worse than helplessly standing about as she drowns herself, right? She was serious about this. She's been dreaming about mermaids ever since she was little. I know exactly how that feels. It may be a curse, but still, I will honor her wishes by unleashing the mermaid's power. It's how she wanted to go. I might be the only one who actually understands Miss Somakawa's feelings. If I don't act now, it would be like denying her final hope and dream. Okay. Hey! Azusa Somakawa. Her occupation is a Taishima descendant. I don't. She's an armor diver. After that, we managed to quietly retrieve the tama tobacco from beneath the floor of Miss Somakawa's house. All that was left to secure the dream of immortality was to obtain the mermaid flesh. Since Sobai had already returned to Ryugu, we placed our hopes on the last remaining mermaid, Nagame. But we had to act fast. Otherwise, Ikuma or even those Paranormal Affairs Bureau psychics would get in our way. It might have been the after effects of using the curse, but I got sick the next day and had to spend a full day bedridden at the inn. How pathetic. That's when I heard news that 2 female divers had gone missing near Toba. The fact that I've been involved in both incidents made me feel even worse. Right. When Circe heard the news.
I'm Diana Venecia,
Your local cosmetologist. Thank you for the follow. She just mumbled something with an unreadable expression on her face. I had no choice. There was simply no other way. Or at least, that's what I kept telling myself as I struggled to get out of bed. The next day, August 7th, we set out to gather more information on Nagame and the other mermaids. We traveled to Kamishima, the island where Mari Somakawa, or rather Mari Minakuchi, used to live. Okay. Don't come residence is just up the slope after you head through that alley. It's a bit of a maze, though. Want me to show you? Ah, so it was that way. Oh, what the fuck? Thank you. We should be fine by ourselves, I think. Got it. Take care then. Ma'am? Is something the matter? Oh, she can see immortal beings or something like that? No, it's nothing. I'll tell you later. It's her special vision. Where we've been like, what the heck is that for? Oh, let me get this straight. You're with the police. And you expect me to warn everyone on the island that a huge storm is on its way and get them ready to face it? That's it in a nutshell. I'm so glad you understand. This is about the curse of the raging waves. Way ahead of you there. I've been warning him for ages. Well now, you know about the curse. Can it be that a certain sorcerer acquaintance of yours told you about it? That's right. Unlike you phony psychics who crawl out of the woodwork every other week, my instructor's the real deal. In that case, I expect this instructor also knows how the curse can be lifted? No, hasn't gotten that far yet, but it's not for lack of trying. Why? You saying you know a way to break it? Actually, I do. Unfortunately, no. We've yet to determine the exact method for bringing it to an end. We are not without the means to do so, but first we require a map concealed in a mummified mermaid. Might you know of it? A mummified mermaid? What are you on about? This some kind of ruse? I knew there was something fishy about you. What are you really after? Go on, out with it! I assure you, we wish to only lift the curse plaguing Kamishima. Would you be prepared to assist us in our efforts? Bah! A likely story trying to pull one over on old Wakamura, are we? Better'n you have tried. Well, how's this? I'm not telling you another word. We're done here, understand? I don't have time to listen to this hogwash anyhow. I've got business to attend on the mainland, so off with you. Leave me in peace. Well, that is a shame. But I suppose there's nothing we can do. In any case, please do contact us if you learned anything that might be of use. Not very cooperative, is he? I don't see why he's so suspicious. He had his hackles up from the first. Ooh, alright, KDV. Perhaps he's so accustomed to dealing with rough customers that he can't believe anyone would be sincere. However, he does seem to be as interested in breaking the curse of the raging waves as we are. True, and this sorcerer of his must have some psychic ability if they were able to perceive the curse. Wish I'd thought to ask their name. Oh, I think I have an idea of who it might be. It's a small world, this industry. Oh, really? Mr. Yamashina called them a big shot who's appeared on television, and I recognize their mark on the implements in Wakamura's room. It must be Suigen Gamyodo. Wait. That sounds so familiar. Suigen Gamyodo. Wasn't he the guy from the first fucking game? Gamyodo? Never heard of him. No? They used to make frequent appearances on occult programs, though they always hid their face on camera. Sorry, it's not ringing any bells. Well, lately, They seem to be raking in a fortune as a corporate consultant for hire. Their powers have a reputation for being accurate and potent, and their popularity has grown to the point where they can essentially name their price. If they're that good, maybe we should let them take care of the curse of the raging waves for us. Perhaps I should mention, Gamyoto's popularity has reached such heights only very recently. Up until last year, they had a very poor reputation among others in the industry. In fact, as I recall, on the list of notable psychics kept by the Paranormal Affairs Bureau, they were given the lowest rank. In other words, they were put on the same level as sham mediums, riding the wave of the occult boom. I'd forgotten about that list. While their sudden rise to fame and fortune after changing up their business at the end of last year is certainly suspicious, I am more concerned about the possibility that they are using a harmful curse to suit the needs of the highest bidder. Regardless, I'm not sure I would trust them to handle this affair on their own. You never know. Maybe they just had a change of heart and started training seriously. Even so, I highly doubt they would have time in their busy schedule to venture out here and solve this case in our stead. Okay. Maybe I have a weird theory. I have a weird theory right now. Because in the first game, we never found out who the storyteller is. So I'm like, maybe well, actually, wait, did we? I don't think we did. Like, the storyteller has to play a part in this, right? And similar to this, nothing is known. Oh wait, and Soba is here too. Okay. Oh, you're the girl who showed us the way earlier. Good thing I caught you. Mind if we have a word? Actually, I'd rather not. I'm afraid you don't really have a choice. Because I already know that you're an 800-year immortal. What are you talking about? Don't even bother. That shock look has already given you away. Besides, you have nothing to fear. Your secret's safe with me. Come on, let's take this somewhere more private. So, in short, when you came to, you had been washed up on the shore of the bay. Wakamura took you in. And that is as far back as your memories go. You don't remember anything about your life before that, not even why you became immortal? No, except I'm pretty sure I was forced to eat mermaid flesh by someone. But you don't know when or why? No. So you've only recently woken up, and you have no idea where you were or what you were doing before that? Pretty much. I get the feeling I was in a kind of deep sleep at the bottom of the sea for a few hundred years. But I've got no clue why, or how, or what led up to it. Interesting. Well, how about we go over the facts one by one, just to make sure we're on the same page? Okay. This is the southwestern coast of the island. We've got it all to ourselves right now. Soto has been researching the ways in which spirit sense affects the human brain. so I'm sure he must be curious what effects longevity has on the minds and psyches of an 800-year immortals. It appears she has a lot of gaps in her memory. Having never encountered an 800-year immortal before, I must confess I am bursting with questions. How does such a lifespan impact the structure of their brains and memories? It would be fascinating to find out. No sticker? Okay. This girl, she calls herself Sato Shiranami. I wonder if she made that name up. Either way, I doubt we'd find her in the civil registry, though that shouldn't affect her life too much while she's living on Kamishima. If her readiness to give us directions earlier is anything to go by, she seems to know the island quite well. I just hope she'll be all right. I wonder if Wakamura knows about her immortality. He seems to be her guardian. If he does know, and he lets slip to Yamashina about it, that could become a problem. It's just one thing after another. What are we to do about her? Now, am I right in thinking you didn't eat mermaid flesh and go straight to sleep? You were up and about for a few years in between, at least. I think so. What interests me is the fact that you are already familiar with the term 800-year immortal. It is not a widely known concept. You must have been in the unique position to acquire knowledge of it before you went to sleep. Yeah, I have a vague memory of being told that's what we're called. But I don't know when that happened, or where, let alone who it was. Maybe you'll remember in more detail if we touch on some other topics. Guess we'll just have to go by process of elimination. Work our way down the list till we get a hit. Is there a reason for all these questions? Well, not to sound insensitive, I'm sure it can't be easy for you going about without any memories and all. Oh, going without any memories and all? But I was hoping you might know something that could be of use to us. Given your history, there's a chance you possess information otherwise lost to time. Maybe, but I'm not sure how much help I'll be. I remember so little. Come to think of it, I'd say it's about time we introduced ourselves. I'll admit, we don't exactly look the part, but the truth is... You're with the police? Wow, I never would have guessed there was a paranormal affairs department. Honestly, I thought all psychics in this age were frauds. At least, that's the impression I got from watching TV. Oh, to be fair, the majority of them are. But for the record, our department is officially approved by the government. Really? Huh. Back in my time, psychics were treated as onmyoji and even held official positions in the Bureau of Onmyo, a public institution. Oh, you seem to know a lot about that. Were you involved somehow? Huh? Oh! I explained all that without even thinking. It just came naturally to me. Honestly, I'm as surprised as you are. I guess this means I must have had something to do with the Bureau of Onmyo. And it seems your memories aren't lost after all. All we have to do is find a way to trigger them. Okay. Whoa, this is long. Okay. So, anyway, what are a couple of paranormal affairs officials doing on Kamishima? Working on a case, of course. What else? Our job is to resolve incidents caused by curses and paranormal phenomena, and wherever possible, prevent them from occurring. It's up to us to solve the greatest mysteries and do whatever it takes to keep the peace, which is usually a lot. Wait, does that mean something's happened here? You don't know, huh? Know what? Sounds like we'd better fill you in a bit first. We're working several cases right now, but I'd say only 2 of them are a priority. 2. Mind you, we've known about the first one for quite some time. The curse of the raging waves. We've come to lift it before it unleashes a huge storm on the southern sea of Kamishima. The curse of the raging waves? That's right. Ever heard of it? No, never. That's to be expected. I imagine the islanders aren't too fond of discussing the disaster. Anyhow, that situation is ongoing. As for the other priority case... Right, you mentioned there were 2. We actually only learned about this one after we arrived on the island today, but... Protocol dictates that we have to deal with any 800 years immortal we find. What do you mean, deal with? Oh, they talked to, Ankakudano. It's not all that difficult to understand. To begin with, 800 years immortal shouldn't exist in this world. And if their existence were to become public knowledge, it would lead to an outbreak of trouble of every kind. Heck, some people are already looking to gain immortality for themselves at any cost. What? For the sake of maintaining public order, it's vital that the world remains convinced immortality is just a myth. However... Stop her, Soto! What if I don't? Oh, okay, fine. Halt! Yeah! Can't you just let me go? Calm down, will you? I hadn't finished. What I was going to say was, I've got no intention of doing anything with you, so don't worry. Wait, really? Surprised? But you should know better than anyone why that would be. Or he went, huh? You might be an 800-year immortal, but your time's nearly up. Oh. Ugh. Ah. These eyes never lie. Sato Shiranami, for the first time in centuries, you're standing on death's door. In a matter of a few days, you'll be gone from this world, am I right? Yes, it's exactly as you say. I think... I've only got 2 days left now? Just 2 more, huh? So you knew this was coming, but you chose to make a life for yourself on the island even so? Yeah. I've known all along, from the moment I woke up. Well, now you know I am prepared to turn a blind eye. In just 48 hours, give or take, you'll fade away and that will be that. Of course, you would have to swear to keep your identity a secret to the last. But provided you can keep your word, you're free to go. I can, and I will. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. There's another matter I'll be needing your help with if I'm to leave you be. Another matter? But first, before I forget. Yes? Keep our meeting today a secret. And don't let on to anyone that you know about the curse of the raging waves. Okay? People will get suspicious otherwise. Even if Wakamura tells you about it, be sure to act surprised. I figured that shouldn't be too difficult for you. You're an experienced secret keeper after all. I don't know about that, but I'll do my best. By the way, I was wondering, how did you know I was an 800-year immortal? Oh, that. These eyes of mine have what you might call a special ability. A special ability? If I look hard enough at someone, I can tell whether they're an ordinary human or an immortal. It's like you have a different colored aura about you. Really. Not only that, but it turns out with a bit of focus, even immortals can tell each other apart. Is that so? Oh, I just meant you look the same as anyone else to me. I'm not an immortal myself, you know. Really, I thought for sure you must be, since you seem to know so much about all this. I thought so too, actually. I'm not an immortal myself, you know. Oh, okay. Right now, we're looking for a way to lift the curse of the raging waves. But that's Soto's area of expertise, so I'll leave the explanation to him. Right. This concerns a legend passed down in my family, the Kiryu clan, over generations. Oh, I should mention, this is something I've pieced together from various sources, so it may not be entirely accurate. Right. Long ago, south of Kamishima, there was an island called Taishima. It is said that 400 years ago, it was beset by an earthquake and a tsunami in an event so catastrophic that the island sunk to the seafloor. Taishima. However, the truth of the matter is that it was invaded and laid waste to. Then in the aftermath, the islanders' intense hatred coalesced into the curse of the raging waves, which manifested as a tremendous storm. I see. 400 years ago. So this would have been towards the end of the Sengoku period, correct? Yes, ma'am. The Honnoji incident, in which Oda Nobunaga ended his life, took place in 1582, if you recall. Following this event, one of my ancestors, an accomplished onmyoji by the name of Harukage Tsuchimikado, sacrificed a young woman, one of the survivors of Taishima, in order to seal away the source of the curse of the raging waves. An onmyoji, Harukage Tsuchimikado. Wouldn't that make your ancestor a direct descendant of Abe no Seimei? Sounds to me like you share a bloodline with the onmyoji elite. Yes and no. While Harukage's powers were potent, he was never affiliated with the Bureau of Onmyo. In fact, he shunned his illustrious surname early on and left the government service, preferring to uphold peace as a civilian. Ah, so he was eccentric and elite. Gotcha. Harukage's seal was not permanent, however. It would only endure for 4 centuries. Wait, you mean... Yeah, this was the last year of peace. Actually, the seal's already broken. Isn't that really bad? For now, the curse appears to be inert, but the storm could strike at any moment. Okay, so you need to find a way to seal the curse again, is that it? Not seal it, break it. We're here to put an end to this curse for good. Shouldn't be too difficult. It's bound to have weakened a bit after 400 years. Indeed, that seems to have been Harukage's plan, for legend tells. That he left behind instructions detailing how the curse could be lifted after 400 years had elapsed. However, the map that would have led us to these instructions has been lost. Oh no. It seems they were once concealed inside a model of a mummified mermaid. Yet over time, this fact was forgotten, and at some point in my family's history, the object in question was sold to a foreign buyer, and we know that foreign buyer. But if you don't have the map, then what are you gonna do? Well, we were hoping to find some clue as to the map's whereabouts here on Kamishima. But we've had no luck so far, and I reckon we've hit a dead end. I see. Oh, I keep clicking that one. Apparently, Wakamura's been trying to find a way to end the curse of the raging waves himself. He told us he'd already warned the islanders about the impending danger and refused to have anything more to do with us. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I just hope that will be the end of it. But this is one job I can't afford to foist off on anyone else. Not entirely anyway. Okay. Oh, actually, talking about the Bureau of Onmyo brought back another memory. I'm pretty sure it was an Onmyoji who put me to sleep, using some kind of spell to keep me in a state between life and death. Really? So someone intentionally put you to sleep under the sea. Under the sea. There must have been a good reason for it. Good. From what point are your memories clearest, would you say? Well, I guess about 3 months ago, when the spell keeping me in that state under the sea wore off. From when you woke up then, I see. I know that look. Did you notice something? I know that look, she says, not looking at him. Not exactly. It simply occurred to me that if her state of, shall we say, suspended animation was lifted while she was in the sea depths, would she not have drowned and resurrected several times over? Oh, yeah, I did. It was hell. I woke up under the sea, unable to breathe, drowned, and came back over and over again. It was horrible, and I still remember it. Every last second. Jeez, I'm sorry you had to go through that. The instant I came back, I would swim as hard as I could, trying to reach the surface. But even so, I think it took me about 3 days to reach the shore. I lost count of how many times I died down there. Then finally, I came into Kamishima Bay. Mr. Wakamura found me and took me in. And I've been living here in peace. And I've been living here peacefully ever since. No one's even suspected I'm immortal. You're sure about that, are you? No one else knows? Huh? Yeah, I mean, I think so. Anyhow, I guess that settles the issue of how far back your memories go. If your lifespan is nearly at an end, that must mean you consumed the flesh of a mermaid exactly 800 years ago. Of course, you already knew that, didn't you? Not that you've been forthcoming about it. Sorry, I... Don't apologize. That just proves you know how to hold your tongue. A valuable skill when you've got a secret to keep. Mind you, this fact does put matters in a new light. Say, Soto, what events took place 800 years ago? Let's see. 8 centuries ago from the present day. That would place us midway through the 1180s, when the Heian period was coming to an end. Right around when the Genpei War took place. Of course, the Haika! Yes. Exactly. Don't you think there might be a connection? Huh? By the way, you wouldn't happen to be concealing anything else, would you? Huh? No, It's fine. I'll not pry. Just so as long as you answer my questions. Okay. Now, there's something I'd like you to try and remember for me. Me? But... Humor me. Doesn't the story behind the curse of the raging waves ring any bells? Why should it? The girl who was sacrificed in order to seal two away. I guess they just mean seal away. In order to seal away the curse of the raging waves 4 centuries ago. Might that not have been you, Sato Shiranami? What? You have said yourself that it was an Onmyoji who put you in that state of deep slumber on the seafloor. Does it not seem highly probable that you were the sacrifice who has held back the curse for the past 400 years? Oh man, You're right, that was me! I knew it. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't. No more. I can't do this anymore. What's the matter with you? Get a hold of yourself. Oh, is it that painful to remember? We didn't come here to ask you to sacrifice yourself again, if that's what you're worried about. All those years under the sea couldn't have been easy on her, you know. She wasn't really asleep. Her brain would still have been active. Moreover, there is a limit to how many memories the human brain can hold. I would estimate the maximum capacity to be about 100 years worth. Are you saying she remembers being in that state under the sea? In a sense. I presume her memory is filled with stretches of utter darkness. Her view of the sea depths. Any memories from before that time have likely been pushed deep into her subconscious. Then maybe they're not gone for good. There's a chance she'll remember more. We just need to find the right trigger. Ugh. Sorry, I didn't mean to freak out on you like that. Took me a sec to get over the shock. Well, seems my theory about you being the sacrifice was right on the money. But it doesn't look like you'll be able to tell us too much about the past after all. Guess not. I wish I could have been more help. Oh, there's something else I'd like to ask you. Be my guest. How exactly do you deal with 800-year immortals? You sure you want to know? Huh? Since it's not going to happen to you, there's no reason for you to think about it. I thought it would be something like taking away their immortality. Unfortunately, that's downright impossible. Because your original body is long gone, you know. But then, what else can you do? You tell her, Soto. Must I always be the one to handle these unpleasant topics? Besides, I see no point in explaining something that she is already painfully familiar with. What do you mean? Among the arts we psychics wield is a spell that can place an immortal into the state of apparent death.
28 stab wounds.
Thank you, Crimson! Hi, people! 28 stab wounds. We're playing Paranormasight. It is very spoilery right now, just so you know. But thank you so much for rating into me, and I hope you had a really good stream. What were you playing? 28 stab wounds. Ray, shout out. You did understand that. Crime scene cleaner? I really want to get that as well at some point. Let's see. Oh, yeah. And then... Oh, wait, what is the bot? What is the bot command again? Oh, no. Hold on. Guess it's not working. I was trying to get the frosty tool. Once that is done, they can simply be sealed in an underground vault for the rest of their days. Wait, you mean it's the same thing that happened to me? Essentially, yes. Except that in your case, it was for the purpose of making you a sacrifice. And you woke up before your lifespan came to an end. Yikes! Mind you, neither I nor Soto has ever actually done this to anyone. Though I did hear a rumor that someone was dealt with that way a few decades back. Oh my god, there's so many. Kikako's reward on the seabed. On the seabed. So much reading. Oh, yeah. No, this game, like, I love visual novels, but I wish more of them were either fully voiced or had more segments with voicing. Yeah. Of course. There have been 800-year immortals who sought ways to become mortal again in the past. But they all failed, even if they managed to track down the mermaid who gave them their immortality. It was no good. How much was this game, like, to buy? I think around 25 euros. But it's a pretty niche game, and the first one wasn't voiced as well, so it would be a bit weird, but yeah. That's why more than a few immortals have ended up living out their long lives in religious seclusion. But, does this mean the seal broke because I woke up? We cannot be certain of that. Perhaps it was the other way around. The seal may have broken because of its own accord, releasing you from slumber. Either way, it's not your fault. Don't go blaming yourself for any of this. Still, if I hadn't... Listen, your sacrifice kept the curse at bay for 4 whole centuries. That is half of your extended lifespan. No one could ask more of you than that. The rest is up to Soto, isn't that right? Yes, but I'm counting on your help as well, ma'am. So, any chance you remembered something about the Curse of the Raging Waves? Did that Onmyoji, Harukage Tsuchimikado, happen to tell you how it could be lifted? I'm sorry. All that's come back to me is the fact I was sacrificed. I don't remember the Onmyoji at all, what kind of person he was or anything. The most I can remember is that I think he said something about the curse being lifted after 400 years. That's all, huh? Well, be sure to let us know if you remember anything else that could help us break the curse. I will. Alright, next question. You wouldn't happen to know much about the Haika, would you? The Haika? Why do you ask? This actually pertains to one of the other cases we're working on, but we've got reason to believe that someone out there is using the curse of the Haika to commit murder. The curse of the Haika? Did you hear about those skeletal remains that turned up near here? It was all over the news. Oh, yeah, I saw that. Well, we suspect the curse of the Haika may be involved. And seeing as you were alive 800 years ago, I was hoping you might know something about the Haika that could help us. If we're right in thinking that you had ties to the Bureau of Onyo, the timing matches up perfectly. Oh yeah, I love the art. I might have known once, but nothing's coming to me at the moment. Really? Shoot. On that note, I too have noticed a potential correlation. There is a legend that tells how Taira no Tadamori was presented with the flesh of a mermaid at Betsuho. Perhaps that was the flesh Sato consumed to gain her immortality? Actually, I'm pretty familiar with that legend myself. And those so-called mermaids that were caught at Betsuho definitely weren't the kind that could make anyone immortal. Oh, is that so? But if you ask me, Sato here couldn't have become immortal by eating mermaid flesh. Without the use of a relic called the tamatebako. Now, does that ring any bells? Huh? Wait! Mermaid flesh! In the tamatebako! Oh, have you remembered something? Yes, that's it. It was one of the Haika. A man wearing a suit of armor. We were on a boat. And he had the tamatebako. There was mermaid flesh inside it. He wanted me to eat some of it. A warrior in armor. Could it be? So, sounds like you had ties to the Heike as well. And this man, he was the one who made you eat mermaid flesh. Yes, I remember now. What was his name? Do you remember that too? I think it was Tomo something. Tomoshige? That's it. The man's name was Taira no Tomoshige. Taira no Tomoshige? That was the name of one of Taira no Yorimori's sons. And Yorimori himself was the son of Tadamori's official wife. So you're telling me that Tadamori's grandson forced Sato to eat mermaid flesh? What do we know about this Taira no Tomoshige anyway? Not much. Aside from the fact that he was part of the clan's main lineage, history has not seen fit to record his deeds. Whatever they may have been. Well, he may not have been one of the clan's famous warriors, but to think, you actually knew one of the Heike. You mentioned you were in a boat. Do you recall anything else? I think we were being chased. I do not wonder at that. At the end of the Heian period, the Heike were being pursued by the full might of the Genji's forces. I was struck by an arrow, and I fell into the sea and drowned. But by that time, I had already become immortal. Later, I must have resurrected and washed up somewhere along the coast, and I guess that's how I escaped. What about Tomoshige? Did he eat some of the mermaid flesh too? I'm not sure. I don't remember that part, but I don't think I encountered him again after that. If you'll remember, man, that curse echo I witnessed earlier held the famed blade, Nuke Maru. Perhaps Tomoshige inherited the blade from Yorimori, and wielded it with the intent to avenge his clan. After all, future generations would surely have held a memorial service for a warrior of renown like Yorimori, setting his spirit to rest. Tomoshige, on the other hand, is unlikely to have received the same treatment. If so, his hatred may have persisted long after his death. Creating the curse of the Heike, it is a distinct possibility. This curse sounds terrifying. I have to say, I wasn't expecting a connection here. You know, Sato, it's starting to sound like you're involved in all the incidents that have gone down in these parts over the centuries. Ugh, not by choice. Okay, same thing again. Anyway, I get the feeling that this Taira no Tomoshige wasn't a very nice guy. And this curse of his sounds even nastier. Could it really still be active after all this time? It certainly looks that way. The Heike's resentment is awfully persistent, I hear. You don't think he could have held a grudge against me, do you? Who knows? That would depend on your relationship with him back then. Oh man. However, it appears someone is actively wielding the curse of the Heike at present. Therefore, the targets of the curse would be decided by this individual, whoever they may be. Another unknown, huh? Curse of Tomoshige. Okay. Figuring out the origin of the curse is all well and good, but it doesn't help us solve the case. We need to track down the person who's actually using it, or it will keep happening. Indeed. Hope you find them soon. Speaking of immortals, there's something else I had to ask you. Yes? Now, I'm not certain about this, but I get the feeling that there's another 800-year immortal on Kamishima right now. What? Any idea of who it might be? No, I don't have a clue. Are you sure about that? Because if there is another immortal here, I'll find them eventually, you know. Even if I have to scour the island from end to end. Does that change your answer? No, I really don't know who it could be. All right, if you say so. Guess this means I'll have to search the island, after all. As if I didn't have enough to deal with. Well, I'd say that about covers everything. We've talked your ear off long enough. It must be confusing, all this talk of the past. Will not trouble you any further. Right, thank you. Still, give it a bit of time and something else might come back to you. If it does, please let us know. We'll be visiting the island again real soon, so you should have a chance. Will do. I'll be going then. So, now what? She's given us much to ponder. To think we'd encounter a living witness. I'd never have dreamt it possible. Sure, it was fascinating, but I can't say it did us much good, as far as our investigation is concerned. Besides, she's still holding something, that one. You think so, ma'am? I do, in fact. Oh, I do. In fact, I'd bet on it. She might even be up to something. But our primary objective here is to lift the curse of the raging waves. We don't need to start digging into anything else without good reason. The mermaid's curse? I bet they do. We all say fuck. And they should be allowed to curse. On that note, do you really intend to search the island for this other 800-year immortal? Yeah, I figure we might as well look into that too while we're here. Understood. Oh, hey! What's up, dude? My apologies for the interruption, but there's an important matter I wish to discuss with you. Now then, I believe you have just been privy to quite the interesting development. As Yumiko Shiki would tell it, Sato Shiranami is not the only 800-year immortal here on Kamishima. And so I would pose you a question. There is indeed one more individual on Kamishima who has made a miraculous return from the dead. You have borne witness to death and revival of this individual a grand total of 6 times. With this in mind, allow me to ask, who is the other 800-year immortal on Kamishima? Please tell me their name. Hiya! I mean, Kikuko. We literally saw her. Like, again, right? But she was like, it was fake blood. But do I really trust that? Like, I'm just gonna say Kikuko. Kikuko. Kikuko is not the person you seek. Huh. You know, we haven't seen Yuza in a while. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Yuza. He has died quite a few times. Azami, we haven't seen dying, but he has died. No. Yes, we have seen her die. But would an immortal being look like an older person? I mean, it depends on like what age they ate the mermaid flesh at. Okay, we know Sato is one. Tsukasa would be surprising. Don't think so. Could be possible. So it isn't her. We've seen her die as well. I mean, because of the secret, I low-key did think it was Yumiko. I don't know, she's just suspicious like that. You know what? Yumiko. No. Force of habit let you to not perceive it as such. You have witnessed them return 6 times. Yuzu. That was the next person. No? Fuck. Suffocation in the ocean. Suffocation in the ocean? I mean, that was Yuza, I'm pretty sure. Wait, I fucking misspelled his name. Thanks, Botaku. Did I actually say Yuzu? Like... Okay, okay. See, that makes sense. Like... Fuck, I misspelled Yuza. That's so embarrassing. I mean, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well, no, it doesn't. How can he be the 800-year immortal when he was... Oh, I mean, I guess they could have adopted him. They could have found him. He was raised by his grandmother after losing his parents. Well, his adoptive parents. Fair enough, fair enough. Correct? The answer is Yuzu Minakuchi. I'm gonna call him Yuzu from now on. Every time Yuza ran out of oxygen while diving... Wait, if I dived more and gotten more deaths, would it have said, like, the amount of times that your character died during that? Oh my god. Imagine it said, like, you have seen them die 25. Like, if it said 25 times, I would have instantly guessed Yuza, I think. The fact that it was only 6 times, I'm like, Well, we've seen a couple people die around 6 times at least. Do you want to book in your book with a questionnaire? Oh my goodness. So in other words, skill issue. However, following his demise, he returned to life and was able to continue where he had left off. Wait, then what was with the shadow that we saw? That's still curious. It would normally be highly unusual for someone to reach a diver rank of 7 on their first outing. Yeah. Aw, Kitty B, you don't have to. That's so sweet. Such a feat would be difficult indeed, unless one was unburdened by the fear of failure.
I can't
Believe you sung to me. Thank you so much. Enjoy the streams. Thank you. Such a feat would probably be difficult indeed, unless one was unburdened by the fear of failure or the fear of death. It was this knowledge of his own immortality that led him to displaying such an uncanny degree of confidence. What have I done? It's my little subscribing song. As you may have suspected, Yuza Minakuchi became an 800-year immortal 5 years ago. Okay, so his parents are actually his parents. When he was saved by a mermaid. But which one? In truth, help arrived too late that fateful day, and it became the first time he lost his life. I wonder what light this new information will cast on events going forward. With that, please enjoy the continuation of this tale. Thank you. Thanks, dude. Oh, wow, okay. Well, let's go to this one. Okay, so Tsuyu died. Uh-huh, I remember. They escape. And then Yuza dies, but doesn't die, but we don't see that part. Wait, I want to hear the song again. Hold on, is the music like really soft for you guys? Because it is for me. There we go. This song is absolutely going in my playlist. Wait. You're cheating on someone! This one's in love with this one, but then this one is in love with this one. Or maybe he isn't cheating. Oh no, because he's in love with someone else. But also, wait, what does this mean? Oh my god, you're a freaking player! So this one, they're in love, then he's in love, then he's in love with it, and then he's in love, oh my, and then she's in love with him. Oh my god. It's the Mockingbird relationship chart. That's a woman? Oh my god, it's a woman! You know what, in that case, pop off queen. No, I'm kidding, no. Okay. Several days after the night of tragedy, Yuza is lost in his thoughts alone on the bitch. Well, dude, everyone fucking died. What are you gonna do now? It's been 1 week since the night Kamishima was struck by a tragic storm of mysterious attacks. All in all, it resulted in 16 casualties, 7 missing, and 20 buildings totally or partially destroyed. A horrific calamity. It caused a huge stir when news broke out about what happened. The culprit responsible for the massacre is still unknown, and the investigation is ongoing. I went diving this morning for the first time since that day. No one's taking their boats out right now, so it was just a short dive from the shore. One second. Okay. La la la. Oh. Hello. I'm not talking to you. Sometimes I think about the plans we all made to have fun here, and wonder how that would have gone if things hadn't turned out the way they did. I guess there's no point in thinking about that now, though. Ooh, okay. We can think about a lot. Culprit behind the massacre. We still don't know who the culprit behind the massacre, the so-called assassin, was. No, we do. We do, honey. The investigation is proceeding under the assumption that it was one of the people who went missing that night. But it seems like it's not making much progress. Among other things, they're having to conduct it behind closed doors, so word doesn't get out that it was caused by a curse. Many people tried to escape the island by sea that night, but most of them ended up getting caught in the storm and going missing. Could the culprit behind the massacre have been among them? The storm struck before we could even mourn those who were killed, and left the town in tatters. Things are barely functioning right now. Everyone is somehow managing to get by on the aid we're receiving, but it's apparently going to take years to fully rebuild. Some people fled Kamishima the moment they could, citing what happened as proof of some sort of divine punishment. But most of those who stayed are already trying to put the tragedy behind them and look to the future. They managed to get back on their feet 5 years ago, so I'm sure they'll be fine this time too. Although they've been bombarded by accusations and demands for them to take responsibility, the Wakamuras have been busy doing what they can. Following news reports on the calamity, there was an uptick in unsavory rumors that Kamishima is cursed in some way. But perhaps because of the current occult craze, a bunch of people have expressed interest in visiting once all the restoration work's done. The mail order service for souvenirs that was set up to help fund recovery efforts has been flooded with orders. Azami and Tsukasa's bodies were found in front of the lighthouse. There's no way of knowing what happened to them now. But I'm told Azami was found collapsed on top of Tsukasa, as though he had tried to protect her to the very end. Oh, I wouldn't have expected anything less from him. the same night as the attack on Kamishima. A massive storm caused by the curse of the raging waves broke out in the sea to the south of the island. My mom notified me that my water bottle was flickering because I have one of those like special ones that like flickers light when you need to drink. A massive storm caused by the curse of the raging waves broke out in the sea to the south of the island. It seems the bronze mirror my mom left wasn't enough to hold back the curse by itself after all. Many of those who attempted to flee the island by boat were caught in the storm and are still missing. The storm descended on Kamishima soon afterwards, and the island was swept by harsh winds and lashing rain for 3 days straight. No one was able to leave their homes, and it caused blackouts and landslides across the island. Several buildings were also completely destroyed. Everyone was made painfully aware just how fearsome the curse of the raging waves is. Combined with the horror of the massacre, the entire ordeal has left a deep scar on those who remain. There's still an eerie rumbling coming from the sea, and no one knows when another storm might strike again. Everyone here is still too on edge to take their boats out to fish, and the ferry service to the island is currently suspended as well. Naturally, no one paid me any mind when I headed out to dive today. The pair from Tokyo had apparently come to Kamishima to try and find a way to dispel the curse of the raging waves. They were extremely regretful about failing to stop the storm, and went around apologizing to everyone in its wake. It seems they're still planning to find a solution though, and have asked for my cooperation. I don't have much to show from my dives today. My catch has been pretty pitiful to say the least. Looks like I really am hopeless without Azami. Unable to bear the tragedy that had befallen Kamishima, Sato Shiranami apparently gave herself over to the assassin and left the island with them. I don't know if whoever sent the assassin got what they wanted in the end. I'm probably never coming back. But either way, they took any chance of my seeing her again with them. Interesting. I doubt I'll ever meet her again. After all that happened, I'm once again the only one left alive. Well, I don't know if alive is the right word. I didn't get my head cut off once by the curse after all. But to be honest, I don't have it in me to care anymore. I couldn't fulfill what I set out to do, despite swearing I'd see it through. I have nothing left. It seems my fate is in the hands of that pair from Tokyo now. I don't know what they have planned for me, but whatever it is, I intend to accept it. Thank you, everyone, for everything. Goodbye. Ending number 2? Potentially? No, but beginning. Okay, well, let's go in order. Approximately 1 month ago, having only just returned home to Kamishima, Yuza goes to the roof of the Kantakisho ruins for some time alone, only to find Sato there. Huh? There's someone already here? How unusual. Whoa, you scared me. Darn, I didn't think anyone else would come here. Oh, I take it I'm not welcome? I didn't think there would be anyone else up here either, so that makes two of us. So, who are you? I'm Yuzu Minakuchi. I recently moved back to Kamishima. Ah. So you're that old friend of Tsukasa's, was it? Yep, I don't think we've spoken before. You're Sato Shiranami, right? Mr. Wakamura's relative? Nice to meet you. Wait, how do you know who I am? That's kinda creepy. You're pretty much the talk of the town. I'm sure almost everyone here knows who you are. Is that so? I'd rather not stand out. It's a small island. Word spread quick about who comes and goes. Sorry, but could you leave me be? I don't feel like talking to anyone. I see. Well, I just came here to enjoy the view alone. I'll just be over here looking at the sea, so I won't be a bother. That work for you? Fine. I thought that was one of the mockingbirds for a second. Hiya, you failed me. They build a rest spot for any tourist who come up here, but it doesn't see much use. You can see all the way from Isabei out toward the Enshu Sea from here. It's a great view. But that doesn't mean I want to share it with anyone. Thankfully, most of the islanders don't come up here that often, so I sometimes come here to unwind. There are a lot of reefs in the area, and the tide is strong, so it can make for a tough sailing. But from here, it looks as tranquil as can be. Sato Shiranami. I hear she's a relative of Mr. Wakamura's, who will be staying with him for a while. But apparently no one's heard of her, so the island rumor mill's been working overtime ever since she arrived. Things have calmed down for a bit now, but when she first showed up, she knew so little about how things worked that the gossip that she was some sort of sheltered princess. That or she had been raised by animals. Even now, she spends most of her time cooped up at the Wakamura's, so the mystery has only grown. I guess it doesn't really matter, though. If she really is a relative of Mr. Wakamura's, I wonder what she's doing here. She's 17, just like Tsukasa, but it doesn't seem like she goes to school. I guess it doesn't really matter, though. Now that I have a better look at her, she's really tall. Maybe even taller than Azami, and he's 173 centimeters. She said she doesn't want to stand out, but that's going to be tough at that height. I'd rather not stand that close to her, to be honest, because you're a short boy. She's been staring at the southern sea this whole time. Could it be she sees something out there? I said I wouldn't bother her. I should stop staring already. Why is he low-key like autistic, though? No, because that is so me. That's what I do. Coming here always helps clear my head. Now then, I'm back here after quitting work after just 3 months. I went to a boarding school on the mainland for high school, so it's been about 3.5 years since I actually lived on Kamishima. Nothing's changed. It's almost as if time itself had stopped here. You could say that's one of the good things about living on an isolated island like this. But for me, that means it's just as uncomfortable as ever. Ever since the disaster 5 years ago, people here haven't exactly been subtle about avoiding me. Maybe it's as good a time as any to start seriously looking into my mom. The processing plant I worked at wasn't a bad place or anything, but working there didn't feel that fulfilling either. I just happened to come across it when I was looking for a job. I've never really been sure what I want to do with my life. Azami has always had a clear goal of becoming a fisherman. To be honest, I always felt a bit jealous of that. After losing my parents in a disaster 5 years ago, people not only began to avoid me, they avoided talking about my mom as well. At some point, I honestly began to wonder if there was much point in me being alive. I've only made it this far because of my Gran and Azami. I could never forgive myself if I made the two of them sad. They're the only reason I'm still here, drifting through life. Not that there's much else I can do here. I've got to find some work here soon so they won't worry about me. I've always been good at swimming, so I've actually been thinking about ama diving as an option. I haven't gone swimming since the disaster, but I wonder if Gran would be happy if I followed in her footsteps and became an ama diver. Maybe I'll start looking into it in secret. Though I'd only be able to do it during the diving season, so I'd still have to find something else. I originally came back here to take care of Gran after her injury. But her conditions improved a lot recently. She can walk around by herself now, and has even been handling the cleaning and laundry. I wouldn't be surprised if she said she was planning to go back to diving. Kamishima women sure are made of sterner stuff. But I'm still worried about her. You never know what could happen after all. It seems she's been watching a lot of TV recently, perhaps because she's had to spend a lot of time at home. She seems a bit bummed that she doesn't have anyone to talk about her shows though. Well hey, she's right here. Azami was really happy to hear that I was coming back to Kamishima. He even helped make sure my return would go as smoothly as possible. I can't thank him enough, he's a true friend. On top of that, he's hardworking and kind. It's easy to see why so many people here like him. But he's involved in a bunch of stuff around the island now, so he's much busier than he used to be. It goes without saying, we can't mess around like we used to anymore. Tsukasa's also put some distance between herself and us since she started high school. I guess she's a bit self-conscious about things now. I miss hanging out with her, but maybe this is just part of growing up. Still, it's no exaggeration to say that it's all thanks to Azami that I'm able to leave her like this. I won't do anything to let him down. Right then. Time to think of how to make my own way through life from now on. Sure, I have plenty of time, but I don't want to be a burden for any longer than I have to be. On the contrary, if there's some way for me to make a graceful exit and draw the curtains on it all, maybe that would be for the best. The same thought's been lurking in my mind ever since that day. What's the point in living if I'm just gonna cause trouble for Gran and Azami? Oh, I didn't know I could look around during this. I wonder why. Time to think of how to make my own way through life from now on. Oh, girl, you scared me. Why the fuck would you do that? I thought the jump scares toned down in this game. You bitch. Whoa, when did she get there? Jeez, that gave me a fright. You and me both, man. Made you jump, didn't I? No! Nope. You didn't scare me at all. It will take more than sneaking up behind me to make me jump. Really? I'm pretty sure you jumped a bit just now. No, you were just seeing things. Tell me, where are we now in the space-time continuum? How long has it been since the creation of the universe? Okay, well, he's totally autistic. No, stop right there. I'm not playing your silly little kitty games. Hey, you can't say that. Ugh. Oh, looks like I was able to play it off. Good job, me. Anyway, did you need something? Oh, right. I can't focus with someone else around after all, so I want you to leave. Huh? You leave. No, you're the one who should leave. It's fate, an immutable law of the universe that was decided tens of thousands of years ago. Oh, really? I was here first, though. Isn't first come, first serve also an immutable law of the universe? That's true. Okay, fine, I'll leave. Huh, you caved a lot faster than I expected. Still, I kind of feel bad for chasing you off like this. So, you can have this Kameshimaru keychain I picked up over there as well. Pushing random stuff you picked off of the ground onto others now, huh? Still, who could have thrown such a cute keychain away? Nah, you didn't do anything wrong. But since you're offering... Keychain acquired. Okay. I'll be on my way as promised then. Sorry for the interruption. Sure. Huh? What? Did she notice I'm an immortal? I see. So that's how it is. Is something wrong? Oh no. I was just thinking it must be pretty rough. Yep, pretty rough all right. It's none of my business though. Bye. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How am I just supposed to walk away after you say cryptic stuff like that? But if no answers are forthcoming, I'll simply have to be on my way. Later. What is up, girly? Alright. Okay. Yeah, the Tomokazuki. Okay, so that's where we go into this. Yeah. Right. So, what's this important thing you have to do, Yuza? Sounds like it must be a pretty big deal. Look at that booty. It is. I just hope you'll believe me. Listen, and don't fly off the handle. Oh. Hello. Please forgive the interruption. I have an important announcement to make. The moment you have been waiting for has arrived. Everything is ready for you to proceed. On August 7, upon returning to Kamishima after his dive, Yuza Minakuchi embarks on the fight of a lifetime. Shadow the Hedgehog is For unbeknownst to him at this precise moment in time, a slew of predicaments would await him everywhere he turned. As for this really important thing he has to do, that is of course preventing the tragedy of Kamishima from coming to pass. The advent of the 400-year-old curse of the raging waves draws nearer Kamishima with every passing moment. This song is so fucking good, what the fuck? Even so, do try to remember that Yuza's true aims are to locate a mermaid and uncover the truth about his mother. Will Yuza Minakuchi succeed? in overcoming these challenges and fulfilling his objective, you ask? The Ekman announced, oh god. That is entirely up to you and the actions you choose to take from this moment forth. Thus concludes my announcement. I wish you good fortune. Thanks, dude. What? You think Kikuko is plotting to work a curse that will cause a massacre on the island? Yes. You might find it hard to believe, but I'm sure about this. You're gonna have to give me a second to take this in. This is way heavier than I was expecting. I mean, a curse? I know I told you about the Tomokazuki and all, but... How did you even find out about this? Have you got any proof? Well... I saw the future with my own 2 eyes, but I'm afraid I don't have any proof I can show you right now. You saw the future? Yuza, if this is some kind of prank, you'd better cut it out right now. Seriously, this shit isn't funny. If you're just fooling around, I don't know if we can be friends anymore. Do you think it's easy for me to call someone I'm only on friendly terms with a murderer? I couldn't say something like this unless I was dead certain. I need you to trust me on this, Azami, before it's too late. Oh man, you're not making this easy, Yuza. I can't just... I mean... No, I understand. I won't ask you to believe me until I can present you with solid proof. Until then, I still need your help. I can't just sit back and let this happen. Okay, I won't try to stop you, but I'm not doing anything drastic till I'm sure we're doing the right thing. That's all I needed to hear. Thanks, Azami. But for real, what's gone into you, Yuza? What do you mean? I know you're headstrong and all, but this is way beyond what I expect from you. It's like you're a totally different person. Come on, you're exaggerating. I'm the same old Yuza I've always been. Hey, you. Don't trust it. Huh? What are you two doing here? And what's with that getup, Yuza? Don't tell me you've been diving. Kikuko, do you have a minute? I heard you were heading out to the northern shore to fish in the bay today. So I came out to find you. Where'd you hear that? I only just decided that this morning. I didn't even tell anyone. We're on the northern side of Kamishima. Not many people come here to fish. I can tell Azami is trying to believe in me. That's a good start, at least. Yuza, are you sure about this? Just so we're clear, I'm leaving the talking to you. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Bird! I found it. Number 11. Kikuko is looking at us suspiciously, but I guess that's to be expected. We surprised her here alone, after all. Right, this is where it all begins. This is my chance. I have to find a way to change the future. But I don't have any evidence, and I doubt I can just talk Kikuko out of this. You don't do something like that on a whim. Whatever her motives are, they must be powerful. Even if I somehow manage to get her curse stone, there is still the risk that whatever destructive impulse has a hold of her would drive her to make the tragedy happen some other way. That's why my best bet of containing the situation is to try and distract her. I'm going to change the future, one step at a time. There's no rush. After all, since we came here instead of heading back to the port, things are already different. I don't want to put Kikiko on her guard, though. I'd better opt for a subtle distraction. Okay. Hand mirrors. You've been passing Kameshimaru hand mirrors around to everyone, right? Yeah, I have. Sounds like someone keeps their ear to the ground. So, how many have you given out? Who's got one already? I don't know, haven't kept track or anything. But if I had to guess, I'd reckon it'd be about 20 or so. Why, though? You want one too? If so, I'll get one to you later. Oh, no thanks. Don't worry about it. Huh? Suit yourself. They're pretty sweet little items if I do say so myself. Damn it. Diving. So, are you really off diving? You sure you should be doing that? If Chie finds out, she'll give you an earful. No doubt about it. Don't I know it? Seems everyone thinks I bring this island bad luck just by being here. Yuza? Well, sure, some folks might say that, but it's not as if you've done anything to deserve that kind of talk. I don't see a problem with you becoming an diver myself. I appreciate that. Just today, plenty of folks told me not to go diving because a storm is on its way. Kitty cat, hello. But when they don't talk sense, I just ignore them, and so should you. I've been wondering. Are you unhappy here on the island, Kikiko? Huh? What makes you think that? I don't know. I just get the feeling you're not planning to stay here as an diver forever. Ha! You normally play the fool, but turns out you're pretty sharp, Yuza. Truth is, I can't help thinking of the future. You can earn a decent living as an diver if you know what you're doing, but all those old rules and customs tend to get in the way. I've been trying to change them here and there, but it's no good. Everyone's too stubborn to listen. I see. No luck, huh? Mark my words. Nothing's ever going to change around here. And just between you and me. As much as I love being surrounded by nature on this island, the culture here just isn't for me. So that's how you feel. Honestly, I'm about ready to break ties with this place. Not that anyone else needs to know that. Don't go spreading it around now. Okay. I think that's where I will save for today. We're definitely getting to some interesting stuff. Very, very interesting. Alright, let me see. I could raid. Let's do... We could do Moiselle, who's playing me side, or... Maybe Rodent. It's been a bit since well, yeah, it's been a little bit since I rated Rodent. That's the end, boys and girls. Wait, what? Ship me off, Chief. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We have some raid emojis. And then my Discord server to see when I go live again. And yeah, that was it for today. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. Well, actually, no, not tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. If I find some time, it will be tomorrow. But otherwise it won't be. and then I'll be back on Wednesday. Cause yeah, I think I might take a little break day tomorrow. Subscribe to the new, yeah. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. All right. Have a good time at Rodents. All right. Stay cozy. Bye bye.